Okay, Kelly, let's see if this works. In case we cannot meet tomorrow, I want to have a plan B and create this video for you so that we can at least get some work done on assignment number 5 for your algebra class. The first 8 problems you're going to solve using this equation. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And this is what they call the Pythagorean theorem. That's a 90-degree angle. We're going to call this side A, we're going to call this side B, and this longer side, which is called the hypotenuse, it's going to be C. And the relationship says that if I square the value of A, add the squared value of B, I should get the squared value of C. Okay? Now, using this relationship, I can also find different values for A, B, or C depending on the problem, and we'll work on them in a second. So for example, if I only have B and C, I could say that A squared is going to equal C squared minus B squared. And again, I'm just basing it out of this relationship. And I can also say that if I need to find this value, I can say that B squared is going to equal C squared minus A squared. Okay? So if you keep those relationships in mind, and please just write them down on a piece of paper, we'll be able to do exercises 1 through, I believe, is 8. Because then, yeah, 1 through 8. Okay, so let's start with some of these exercises and see how far we go. Okay, so in the first exercise, they're giving you A apparently equals 16, B equals 63, okay? So we need to find the missing value of the triangle, which is C. We don't know what it is yet, but I do know that A squared plus B squared is going to equal C squared. Now remember, I want to find C. I'll have to do a little extra step in there in a second. So let's replace the value. This would be 16 squared plus 63 squared. I hope you have a calculator because it's going to be a huge, huge number. Okay? And then whatever value you got, it's going to equal C squared. If you don't have a calculator, let me know, because you should use a calculator for this. Your iPhone should be able to square numbers. And then also, we need this sign. We need to find the square root, okay? Because whatever value you've got, which I don't know what it is, you will tell me tomorrow, or maybe on Thursday when we meet again. So remember, square 16 in your calculator, square 63 in your calculator, add them together, and you're going to get C squared. Now, our answer is, what we're looking for is the value of C. So whatever you got here between these two, you need to apply that sign, which is the square root. I'm going to give you a clue. Your number is going to have a 6, and then I don't know what the missing number is. We'll check tomorrow, okay? If you don't get anything close to 60, definitely wrong, okay? So number 1 is going to be close to 60 something. Okay. Number 2. Okay, so for number 2, A, I don't know, so that's the value I need to find. B, it's 2.1, and C, it's going to be 2.9. Okay? Now, according to the relationships we established before, and you can go back on the video, I told you that A squared is going to equal C squared minus B squared. Be careful with the decimals, okay? This is 2.1, 2.9. So this is going to be 2.9 squared minus 2.1 squared. Make sure you square this number, make sure you square this number, and then you're able to subtract, okay? Whatever answer you get, remember to apply this sign. You're going to put your answer in a square root, and that's going to give you the value of A. Okay? And I'll give you a clue. The answer for A is going to be somewhere between 1 and 10. Okay, so it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 6, it could be 7, it could be 8, it could be 9, it could be 10. It's going to be one number. It's going to be one number in there. It's going to be a perfect answer. Okay, so if the square root didn't give you a number between 1 and 10, try to redo the steps. Okay, let's go to number 3. And remember, take your time. I'm just going fast so that you can have a clue when you're doing these problems. If you have any questions, don't worry. We'll meet and we'll settle all these questions once we are able to meet via Skype. Okay, so for number 3, they give you A, which happens to be 65. My 5s are really horrible. They look like S's. B is my missing number in my triangle, and then they tell me that C is going to equal 97. Okay? So according to the relationships that we established before, I told you that B squared is going to equal to C squared minus A squared. To reflect that, you're going to put 97 squared minus 65 squared. I will give you a clue here. B squared should equal B squared should equal, got a problem with my phone. Let me see if I can fix it. Sorry. Okay, fixed. Let's go back. Okay, there you go. B squared is going to equal 5,184. But remember, that's not the answer I'm looking for. I need to find B, not B squared. So remember, you need to apply this sign. It's the square root, so I can find the value of B. Okay? We'll check that when we discuss what you've been doing. Okay. Let's talk about question number 4. question number 4. It says, how long is the diagonal of a 9-inch by 40-inch rectangle? So I'm going to draw it. I'm going to say this is 9 inches. This is 40 inches. And what they're asking is, what is the value of this diagonal? Okay? That's a diagonal. Well, if we look closely, I actually have a 90-degree triangle here. So if I know this side, I know this side, I can actually know the longer side of that rectangle because I know the relationship that a square plus b square is going to equal this side. I'm going to call it c, which is the diagonal. So if I do 40 square plus 9 square, okay, that's going to give me, if I square this number, I'm going to square that number. When I add these together, but remember, 1681 is c squared. I need the value of c. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the square root of 1681, and c is going to equal, well, you're going to tell me. I'm going to give you a clue. It's a 2-digit number. The last digit is a 1. So if your number doesn't end in a 1, we got to redo the problem. Okay? So try to do it. Tell me what the missing number is, and we'll discuss that tomorrow as well. 5. I'm going to do the drawing for you, the interpretation, and you'll have to do the problem. And again, feel free to make mistakes. Beautiful thing about math is that you got to try ideas and you got to try new things to solve the problem. And then we'll check it together. It says a car travels 28 miles north. So I'm going to start here. North. So I know that's 28. And it says then it turns east. So turning east, I'm going to make a right. Let's say that that's north. East is going to be to my right. It says, how far did the car travel east if the destination is 53 miles from the starting point? Okay, so he travels east. I'm going to call this X. I have no idea. But they do tell me that from my original point, which I'm going to put a circle, the distance is 53 miles. Once again, I have a right triangle here. The opposite side, so if this is my right triangle, the opposite side is the hypotenuse, or what we call C. So I can call this A, and I call this side B. And again, if you remember the relationship, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I know C, I know A, I am missing this, which is the amount of distance he traveled east. I'm going to call it B, so I can establish the following relationship. B squared is going to equal C squared minus A squared. And remember, you know the value of this, which is 53. You know the value of A, which is 28, and then remember, you square 53 squared, 28 squared, you do the subtraction, and you get B squared. Remember, once again, you want to do the square root, which is this sign, and that's going to give you the